Hello there, and welcome to this episode of A Tiny Dot in Space, where I play the various regions, provinces, states, districts of the countries of the world on GeoGuessr, and doing that wherever such games can be made or are already available. And the objective is just to look around, get to know the world, have a good time, maybe try to score 25,000 points. Because I have a long list of regions in the world that I can play. And if I manage to play that region for 25,000 points on GeoGuessr, I will take that area off the list and it will not feature in the series anymore. But if I fail to do so, then the area will stay on the list and might feature at a later date. Today, we're going into Kazakhstan, and we're going to an absolute huge region called Qyzylorda. And, what can I say about this place? Well, I can say one thing. It's huge, and it's got one main road. And the only city that is covered here is the city of Qyzylorda. And it has a road going off to the northeast, which is the only thing deviating. There's also a tiny bit here over at Qyzylorda, rather. Other things worth noting about Qyzylorda is we got the Russian Space Center at Baikonur, which also was known as Churatam back in the day, and the remnants of the Aral Sea, most of which here is now gone. Everything you see in this middle part is now history. It does no longer exist. This used to be the third largest lake in the world, but has disappeared since the 1960s and is now pretty much extinct. So there's only now the northern bit here, which is much diminished, and this western bit here, which also is much diminished. That still exists and probably will continue existing, but it actually covered an area that goes all the way down here. And all of this in the middle was lake, and all the way up here. So there's a huge lake that is just gone. Due to human, well, I would say, ignorance, incompetence, many ways I could describe why. Anyways, we are going into Qyzylorda, and it is absolutely massive. It's absolutely gigantic, and I'm having a bad feeling that this will be much like the Omani episode the other day. So well, there's only one way to find out, isn't there? We shall have a look and do the usual thing with the challenge link. Let's see, just gotta put it in my safe spot for that. There we go. And then we start the game. We're actually in a city, and I guess this city must be Qyzylorda. Okay. So we've got Sultan Medicinalvo Ortalio. Okay. We got Camila. So let's zoom in on Qyzylorda. Well, it would be a welcome change if every bit of this playthrough was in the city, because we haven't really been spoiled with that so far in the series. Okay, so this is looking southeast, and this is looking northwest. Okay, so let's do a little digging. I would say finding this railroad might be key to figuring out where I am. So let's see, is the railroad here? No. I'm going to check the next street on the other side of the road. I'm going to check here to see if we can find. This is going northeast, so if we are, because I don't think we're on this street. Well, I guess we could be, but is that the name of the street though? Safi Romanov. I mean, it could be. So let's not totally abandon this one yet, but no, that doesn't feel right. But this could be more like it, except for one thing. All right, okay, so there is habitation here. The thing missing though is the railroad. So let's see. So now we go northeast. Maybe we'll hit the railroad before long. That is not a railroad. It's just a shade. So still not a railroad. And still not a railroad, but the direction is very constant at least. Semi-constant. And now things stop. That kind of suggests to me that we are I don't know. Kind of feels like we're approaching an industrial area that the well could be. That could well be a railroad gone up behind ahead here. See if we can find this Romanov. I don't see any Romanov streets going. Saki Romanov. If that was even the name of the street, that is. Fairly large city this. For being in the middle of the Kazakh steppes and deserts. Okay, we need more information. So here's the. Well, I was in that letter before. Qyzylmali Susindar garage. Okay. And let's see, hang on, this road is going northwest. Let's see what's at the end of this road. There's a bus stop without a name. Sauna. Okay. Oh, I thought this was a building. It wasn't. It was a row of gas pipes. And here it looks like we are coming to the end of the world. Southwest Main Road. There aren't many of those around, is there? And that is dead southwest. You're in the wrong spot. You should be using the pedestrian crossing. Oh. What do we have here? Mirage Saunasi. Sauna Mirage. Okay. Oh, wait. Even more importantly, Ivan Zhurba and what's the name of that street? So that no. Street says here. No, that's the name. It just says street in various languages. So we got Ivan Zhurba And Satamatov. Does it say Urbat Satamat? No. Sapamatov or Salamatov. Let's see. Yeah. Murat Salamatov, it says. Okay, Murat and Ivan. Murat and Ivan. Wait. That's Salamatova. On southwest, yes. This is Salamatova. Where's Ivan? Salamatova is going southwest, and this is going north. This is going northwest, so that should be coming from here. Okay, so we're on the south side. Now where is Ivan? Jurba. Yeah, this is Ivan Jurba. This is Sauna Mirage. Now we just need to figure out where we started at. Sauna Prestige. Saturn. Sochi Romanova. So... Safe Lombard. Let's have a look at the shops at the other side here. Tarihana. Active Lombard. Notarius. Nah. Orda. Well, that's a bit weird. So, the footage of the Kazakhstan is fairly recent, isn't it? So you would think that at least... Well, hang on. Here's a pharmacist. But that is... in sort of the wrong spot. But the road here does... And we got a Remont, a repair shop. Let's see now. And the bus stop is supposed to be... no way. Yeah, that's a misplaced thingy, but there we have these small shacks. Yes. I just want to make 100% sure. If I was playing on a time basis, I wouldn't take this long. But I want to make absolutely sure I am where I am. No, that's wrong. We're here. Ooh. All that talk about being sure I'm where I am and then going for somewhere really wrong. Okay, that's a nice thought. Oh. Oh. Well, there's a bend behind there. Oh my word. If that is on the map, I'll be the luckiest GeoGuessr alive. Well, the endless steppe. Look at that. That's just mentally flat. That's absolutely the only bumps on the horizon are utility masts and the odd tree. Oh no. Remember what I said about Oman? This might turn into another one. Oh. Well, for a moment I thought, oh, an oasis, but no, so it's actually flooded to the point where the bridge is unsafe. Oh yeah, look at that. So that's a Kazakh equivalent of a wadi. Now here we got cattle and horses. And the endless road. Look at the utility poles just marching off into the distance. Oh man. And the thing is, the people who owned that cattle and those horses, I would assume they're nomads. Oh, another one of these. Oh. Aren't we gonna go back on the main road again? Why is it closed off? Is it due to road work or disrepair or something? It looks like there's something that might even be missing. $61, $62. 61, 60. Where does the event start? I would say that it starts about... Seems to be starting around here. Very slight. Before it goes properly into the vent. So let's say there. And where's the... that's that thing. So 60 and 76 is 136. And we got these. So that would make this one 78. No, 68. Sorry, 68. We want 60. That is 34. $51. Okay, so 68 and 51. So roughly there. If we were within 100 meters, I'll be very happy. Yeah, I'm content with that. that was always going to be a very hard 5K. So I'll take that. Ooh. Dual carriageway. Interesting. So where do they do that here? Okay, they've only covered it in one direction. No, they actually covered it in both directions. Okay, cool. So what does it say? Almaty 908, Taras 403. Okay, so Almaty is... Almaty, that is like way away. Almaty is over here. And this is going southeast. And then there's Taras. Taras is here. Okay, so if Almaty is 500 more kilometers away, so from Taras to Almaty, that is 500 kilometers. And we're 400. We got to be right here on the border. So... yeah, we got to be. Got to be very close to the border. Southeast. So which way should we go? What does that little sign say? Is that a little Tatler? 2029, that's probably something about the distance from where this road started or something. So usually that's kind of useful / useless information. Can we see Nah, the railroad is way too far away, isn't it? But yeah, that is a good point. If we're close to the border, I think we should be able to see the railroad. And I don't see anything suggesting that there's a railroad nearby. Okay, let's see what's on top of this crest. Well, another crest. What do you imagine? Okay, let's see what's behind that crest. Well, there's a decent amount of traffic for something this remote. It's always good to have something to look at instead of featureless areas. And what is that? Why is it there? We don't know. Okay, and we got a very slight turn to the left coming up. Oh, that was slight indeed. Was there even a turn? Or was it my imagination? Still no sign of the railroad. Home. And it's a lovely day on the E38. Traffic is light. And we ask all of you to please wear your seatbelts. Okay. 220 from Qyzylorda. And a million miles away from October, which is way up there. But okay, 220 from Qyzylorda. And that, we can learn something from that as well. So that means, so if we're 400 kilometers away from Taraz, that is that far. Then about that far from our current so we are more likely to be in the vicinity of Janakorgan. And that would at least explain why we can't see the... And here, yeah, of course, I never looked for the dual carriageway. Is it a dual carriageway all the way? Oh, it is. Dang it. But yeah, we're more likely to be in this vicinity than in this vicinity. So let's just soldier on. What's going on over there? Is that a dust devil or is it a... Yeah, it is. Small dust devil. But yeah, I guess those are fairly common sights around here. But yeah, I think that was a helpful sign. And we are very southeasterly. Here's something coming up. At least I'm rewarded for my clicking in a way I was not in Oman. And the Google car is fairly slow. Well, I guess it's required to move at a fairly constant pace, or at least is encouraged to do so. That is... that's an interesting feature. So could we be... Well, we don't know where we are yet. Okay, here we go. Talap. We got Malap. Talap is 7 kilometers off. Okay. So it's not directly on the road. But this thing, this feature fits. So it could well be Malap. And then the road goes off to Talap in 7 kilometers. Let's see here. Yes. So this is where all the people live. So Malap and Talap. No, Manap and Talap. Sorry about that. Okay, so we just passed this thing. But how? Yeah, and there was a very slight bend in the road. Okay. Now the terrain features as well. This very grey area here. There is a railroad, but okay, this one is not going to be pinnable in any way or degree. So here's the little bend we went past. It's also slight. And then there's these terrain features. What are those? We got this hill. Well, if I'm within 5 kilometers here, I'll be happy. I'll go with that. Okay, 2.7 kilometers, not so bad. But yeah, that's a tough one. More of the same. We actually got the sign. And I don't know if that's supposed to be sort of an opulent ger or a mini mosque. Oh no. Oh, Mausoleum of Bukirek Batir. It's a mausoleum. Cool. And it's on the northwest side of the road. That's got to be marked in some way on the map. Let's see now. We are heading straight north. Ah, we don't have much of that. Let's see, straight north. Where do we do that? Well, we got this stretch of road. Which isn't quite straight north, but actually we are, well, tube. That was a letdown. Qyzylorda, okay. That would be a shame if that mausoleum wasn't showing on the map. What? Are there any other north-south bits of the road? A very, very brief one here. It's this bit. That's a shame if that thing is showing on the map. But yeah, it doesn't seem to be. That's a shame. And of course it makes my task all that much harder. Yeah, okay, so we got a mausoleum. We got a road that is going more or less straight north-south. The mausoleum of Bukirek Batir. Is there anything here? Well, we can't see that far into the distance there because of that crest. So let's maybe have a little look at this crest first. And see what we see across the crest. Well, I see a whole heap of nothing. And then I'm wondering, what is going on here? Is that a bend or is it just a shimmer? A mirage? Oop. That was a sign. The M32. Yeah, thank you. I think we knew that already. Because the M32 and the E38 is the same thing. So if I go here, I will find the M32 as well. Okay, now, still, is that a lay-by or something? And also, there is something down there. So what is it? Okay. So it's a rest spot. That might actually show on the map. We're coming up to an intersection, but that's for the rest spot, isn't it? No. The road goes off to Sazdi. And of course we can't go that way, but it goes to Sazdi. And if we cannot locate that, well, then we cannot locate anything, can we? Let's see, so that's straight east to Sazdi. Sazdi is here. Okay. So now we scourge. Hang on. So Sazdi is. So if that road goes straight east, we should be in this area. Now let's see. If we scour this road, can we see any features? It's kind of weird that the road to Sazdi doesn't show. But I guess just past this is, yeah, it's a dirt road all the way. Still. No. But there is another thing. No, there isn't another thing. I was going to say there was a bend in the road here, but that's not true. It's a shame this lay-by isn't shown on the map. Well, of course we could be south of where I'm thinking we are. Let's see. No, that's just relentless nothing. Whole heap of absolute nothing. And then we went up where we are. Okay. Let's look at terrain features. I have no idea what these are supposed to be, whether they're supposed to be hills or what. No, that can't be the case. So what are they? Are they bluffs or... hang on. So this is Sazdi. So if we go by the assumption that... Let's see, let's place it slightly differently. There. And let's run down the road to Tube. It will be a while, but it... no, will it give me anything? That's the thing. No, it won't give me anything except headaches, I think. Okay, so in that case, let's assume that this road to Sazdi continues straight eastwards. And here is absolute zip. There's a terrain feature out there. So, on this high rise here, could that be that grey splotch there? So, just on the off chance that we'll spot the... Nah. I think we'll say we're about there. Fair enough. Would have been better if... Oh, so we were actually closer to Tube. Okay, that would make sense that the road to Sazdi goes through Tube. Ah, didn't think of that. Can we see the mausoleum? Good luck with that. Nope. Okay, next one. Ah, back in Qyzylorda. Thank you. At least we have a chance of a 5k at the end. Very nice and leafy. Zhenskaya Odezhda. This street is going west by slightly southwest. Okay, that's probably in this area then. Well, it could also be over here in ITKB. Well, this is a lovely street. Nice and warm. But it gets bitterly cold here in winter. Okay, so this is the corner of something and something. So I'll tell. And I want to catch the name of this, what it says on this building. Now, this is a major intersection. This building says Jean-Jacques Orda Print Service. Okay. Yeah, they do all sorts of stuff here. But here... No, I thought it was... But he had this crossroads. And there's a big mosque. And... Okay, if this cannot be found fairly easily, nothing in this city can. There's also something called Guijan. Now let's see. Now we're looking south. We've got Up Bay Mosque. This looks promising. There's the Altel 5G, yes, and the Orda print service. Yep. So this is Ait Bay Mosque. And we've got the memorial. Kobilandi Batir. It kind of looks like a fortress of some sort, but I guess that is not entirely the thing. But okay, so auto print is here. So we came from this street. Now let's see, can we find that? Can we find that clothing store? Doesn't seem like we'll be able to do that. Well, let's start and say that we're in this area. We're pretty far up the road. And here is a Kazakh Telecom, which is here. The Hugga Bar. Right. So if that is there... yeah, I think we're looking at the corner of it. Nice. Okay, right. That was fairly brutal in this way, but it's like, what do? You just get on with it. There's nothing else to do. So, yeah, we actually got quite close on this one. Well, that was fun. These two, nah, not a chance in the world. Although, yeah, in hindsight, I might have been able to suss out that I should have gone a bit further south, but that was, yeah, that's 2020 hindsight. That's not any reality to me doing that. So yeah, that is Qyzylorda done, and it will stay on the list. There's been a fair few rounds now that I haven't been able to 25k. That's interesting. So I'll have to do something with that. But anyways, I am glad that you are here with me on this tiny dot in space, and I hope that you will tag along for the next episode as well. Until then, bye-bye.